So it looks like Erika Gerardi's attorneys have a response to the rumors that she is going to settle her $25 million lawsuit. Welcome back to the Kempire Daily YouTube channel, where you get daily and consistent hot topics in music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. As always, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on breaking news when we go live or when we upload. As you know, just a couple of days ago, we did a video on a settlement that was reportedly in the works between Erika Gerardi and the trustee in the Gerardi Keese bankruptcy. So now we're hearing from Erika Gerardi's attorney in a statement talking about that apparent settlement. So let's get into what our friends over at Reality Blurb is reporting. So as you know, Erika Jayne and Tom Girardi are being accused of using the money of victims that Tom Girardi represented for their lavish lifestyle. Okay, that's just a brief overview. Of course, it's more complex and more deep. But one of the things that we did discover during this time, because of the things that Ronald Richards has been sharing on social media, is how that money and how Erika Jayne Girardi might allegedly be involved. Okay, so let's go into what we're hearing. So, as you know, we just did a video where Zach Peter reported on a conversation that he had with Ronald Richards. Reportedly, that conversation was off the record. Okay, this is from what we're hearing. And we hopefully will get some more clarity this week in that regard. So, according to Zach Peter, they had this conversation about a possible settlement. Now, Erika Gerardi attorney reached out to Zach with their own statement. Now, Erika Gerardi's attorney is also releasing an official statement in regards to what has been playing out in the news. Okay, so let's get into what Erika Gerardi's attorney, Evan C. Burgess, is saying. He says, regarding settlement discussions, those are supposed to be confidential between counsel. It appears that my opposing counsel, Mr. Richards, has been discussing publicly what he calls settlement discussions. Here's the truth. Mr. Richards has reached out and told me that he and the trustee want to settle. I have listened and will continue to listen. That's it. So can we just break that down just a little bit before we move on? So he's saying, according to Evan Burgess, the attorney for Erika Jayne Girardi, he's saying that Ronald Richards and the trustee have been in contact with him. They want to settle, and we've seen it. Ronald Richards even posted a public deal for Erika Jayne Girardi. He did. Gave her a time limit. She did not meet that time limit. So now we're hearing, according to Evan Burgess, I have to emphasize that this is according to him. Right now, it's like he said, she said. Where are we going? This is a legal mess. Anyways, according to Evan Burgess, he's saying that Ronald Richards and the trustee have reached out to him in regards to a settlement. Okay, I'm just going to emphasize what he says. Mr. Richards has reached out and told me that he and the trustee want to settle. I have listened and will continue to listen. That's it. Evan's being very specific about his wording here. He's not saying that he's agreed to anything. He's listening. This is when you're dealing with attorneys, guys, you have to pay attention to the words that they're using on both sides. On both sides. Okay? So while the lawsuit against the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star argues that because the $25 million allegedly went to her company, EJ Global LLC, quote, to cover her expenses over a 12-year period, she should be responsible for paying the money back. Evan Burgess, though, insists Erika is not legally responsible. That's important. Legally responsible. We're not talking about morality here. They're saying legally. All right. Evan continues by saying this. I can't say enough that based on the evidence and law, you got to pay attention to what he's saying here. I can't say enough that based on evidence and law, Erika does not have liability for any of the claims against her. All the claims against Erika amount to efforts to blame her for actions of others, including Gerardi Keese and Tom Girardi. So this is what Ronald Richards has said to Us Weekly in regards to this. He says that he is, quote, hopeful that they can find a solution where Erika doesn't have to waste any more money on legal fees. The last thing that Ronald Richards reported in regards to her legal fees, it was over $500,000 that she's already paid in legal fees. But on the most recent episode of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Erika says that she has no money. She has no money. Okay? And Tom hasn't given her any money. And this is what he also knows, Ronald Richards. He says, I would rather have her pay the victims than her lawyers. We all would. Look, we all would. But the big question now people are speculating is that will Erika Jayne Gerardi file for personal bankruptcy? And this is what Ronald Richards says. He has no reason to believe that will happen. He says this, she absolutely can file for bankruptcy, but I don't think she would want to do that. No one is pressuring her, and there's no reason for her to do that. That's interesting to me because filing for bankruptcy, and look, I'm not a bankruptcy expert. I've never had to file, thankfully. But with that being said, wouldn't that be another way of protecting her? If she is responsible for paying back this $25 million, wouldn't the next step in order to protect herself to file for bankruptcy? That's why people are assuming that's what she would probably do. So she wouldn't have to pay back this money. And then, of course, the victims would not get what they are owed. This country and the way that they protect people with money, ridiculous. But with that being said, the last report that we did, Erika's attorneys, we hear are concerned about some of the things that she said during the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills season 11 reunion, meaning that she may have divulged too much. Evan Burgess, as you saw in his statement in regards to the settlement, he's very picky and choosy about his words. Erika Jayne, though, as we've known her over the years, is not necessarily as picky with her words, but she is picky with her words when it's convenient for her. But it's going to be interesting to see if a settlement is reached in this particular case and what that would look like. What dollar amount would that look like? If Erika Jayne is saying on the show that she has no money, if I'm saying I have no money, and you're saying you're accusing me of $25 million, you might get $1. Look, you might, look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can get $6. That's all I can give you right now. I probably got more than Erika Jayne, allegedly. Do we believe that Erika Jayne Gerardi doesn't have any money? When she says that she's broke and she doesn't have any money, what does that exactly mean? Of course, it doesn't mean she doesn't have money to her name. She makes money off of her role on The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. We hear that she will be returning because the season is going to start filming at the end of this month. She has other projects that she's working on. But again, it does not equate to the fancy lifestyle that she's been living over the last 20 years. This is going to be interesting. We're going to continue to watch. I hear an interview is coming up on Up and Adam's channel with Ronald Richards and some other people. Stay tuned for that and for more details. Guys, if you have questions, be sure to let us know those questions in the comment section or comments. Let me know what you think about this new report. As always, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on breaking news when we go live or when we upload. Thanks for watching.